Good day everyone, and especially to Miss Alexis Alcantara. I would like to introduce myself first. I am Lian J.P. Cortez from BSc 1-5. And today I will discuss to you the conservatism and liberalism theory. So now, let's start. So now let's start. For the objective of this lesson, first is to understand the concept of conservatism and liberalism theory. The second is to analyze the difference between conservatism and liberalism theory. And lastly, to recognize the elements and the proponents of conservatism and liberalism theory. So now let's proceed to the conservatism theory. Edmund Burke is the proponent of conservatism theory. Edmund Burke was an Anglo-Irish statesman, economist, and philosopher. He is one of the founder of conservatism in Great Britain and is generally viewed as the philosophical founder of modern conservatism. Conservatism is taken from the Latin word conserver, means to retain. It is a political and social philosophy that promotes retaining traditional and social institutions. Conservatism simply means preservation of an existing order. It banks on tradition and the old ways of the laws with some improvement so as not to disturb the status quo. So ayon, ang conservatism comes from the word to retain ay sa Tagalog ay manatili. Manatili sa kanilang mga nakagisnan, sa kanilang mga tradisyon, sa kanilang social institution, and sa kanilang mga old laws and mga old na kanilang nakagisnan. So, ang conservatism pala ay mga tao na naniniwala sa mga nakaraan, sa kanilang mga tradisyon, sa kanilang mga culture, from the word conservative. And generally, believe in personal responsibility, limited government, free markets, individual liberty, traditional American values, and a strong national defense. So, conservative policies generally emphasize empowerment of the individual to solve problems. Conservatism are deemed to possess value in contrast to newer, progressive, liberal positions. Conservatism is the tendency to avoid change. Republicans are often viewed as more conservative. So, nilang mga paniniwala ay individual liberty. From the word individual, sa kanilang sariling kalayaan. So, there are three elements of conservatism theory. First is the tradition. For the conservatives, tradition is an important theme because of its time-tested values, practices, and institutions. It reflects the accumulated wisdom of the past. So, ang paniniwala ng conservatism sa tradition is time-tested. So, na-test na nila and alam na nila kung ano yung mga nakaraan. So, for the second is pragmatism. A practical approach to problems or affairs instead of relying on ideas or theories. For the conservatives, why change was what has already been traditionally accepted practice. So for the conservative, sinasabi nila dito na bakit pa kailangan mag-change kung makagisnan na natin at kung ito na yung pinaka naging kalakihan natin. So the third one is human imperfection. As human individuals are dependent and seek comfort in the familiar and unknown and are imperfect, there would also be no perfect system. Thus, conservatives rely mainly on traditions and experience. So, parang pare-pares lang sila dito. Sa tradition and sa experience. So now, let's proceed to the liberalism theory. So, sa liberalism theory naman, ikabaliktaran ng conservatism theory. Kung sa conservatism theory, ang gusto nila is tradition, culture, and individual liberty, sa liberalism naman ang gusto nila is ang government protect, and liberty. For the proponent of the liberalism theory, he is John Locke. John Locke was an English philosopher and physician widely regarded as one of the most influential of Enlightenment thinkers and commonly known as the father of liberalism. So siya pala ang nagtatag ng liberalism theory. So, what is liberalism theory? Liberalism derived from the Latin word liber means free. So dito pa lang makikita na natin ang gusto nila is kalayaan. Liberalism is an ideology that emphasizes individual autonomy, equality of opportunity, and the protection of individual rights, primary to life, liberty, and property, originally against the state and later against both the state and private economic actors, including business. So, ang gusto nila dito is ang kanilang free will, ang kanilang liberty, ang kanilang protection na nanggagaling sa government. So, liberalism is generally believed in governmental action to achieve equal opportunity and equal for all. Liberal policies generally emphasize the need for the government to solve people's problems. So, gusto nila dito is ang kanilang protection and problema is kailangan i-cover ng government. So, liberals typically believe that government is necessary to protect individuals from being harmed by others. But they also recognize that government itself can pose a threat to liberty. So, minsan daw is natu-threat ang kanilang mga free will. Democrats are often viewed as more liberal. So, as Democrats believe that we can and should make life better for families across our nation with fairness, justice, and equality for all by standing up for all middle class and those struggling to get there. So, what is liberalism theory? Liberalism derived from the Latin word liber means free. So, dito pa lang makikita na natin ang gusto nila is kalayaan. Liberalism is an ideology that emphasizes individual autonomy, equality of opportunity, and the protection of individual rights. Tatlong elements ang liberalism. First is the individualism. This is the central concern of liberalism, the development of human individuals to be treated with the same worth with their own unique identities is given the most important. So dito is mas na emphasize ang liberalism sa pamamagitan ng individualism. Gusto nilang matreat ng same sa kanilang unique na pamamaraan. So next is the freedom. This element of liberalism is the rooted that human beings are born with human dignity, thus are entrusted to act according to one's will and desire. So, dito sa freedom, sinasabi na rooted that human beings are born is nagkakaroon na tayo ng dignity and according to one's will and desire. Nagkakaroon na tayo ng act sa ating will and sa ating desires. So, the last one is the equality. It means every human being has a voice in the political process. Thus, one person, one vote. It also means that every human being should be given the equal chance and opportunity to fully emancipate him, herself, in whatever field he, she desires. So, dito is sinasabi na meron tayong sariling mga boses at meron tayong karapatan na bumoto, karapatan natin sa lahat ng bagay, sa lahat ng ating mga desires. So now, I will give you an example of the difference between the conservatism and liberalism theory in a simplest way. So, first is the abortion. For the conservatism, ang sinasabi nila is, uy, masama yan. Huwag mong gagawin. Dahil iyan ay isang krimen. While the liberalism, sinasabi nila dito na, katawan ko to. At ito naman ay pinatupad ng gobyerno. Kaya kahit anong gawin ko, pwede. And the second one is the divorce. Sa conservatism, ang sinasabi nila na, ba't kayo nagdi-divorce? Eh di ba bawal yan sa Bible? Kasalanan niya. While the liberalism is pinapatupad ng government. Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng divorce, is nagiging legal siya. dahil ito'y pinapatupad ng mga government at sinusuportahan ng government ang mga tao sa kanilang mga gusto. And lastly, the death penalty. Sa conservatism is sinasabi nila na bakit kailangan ipatupad ang death penalty? Sinasabi naman sa Bible na tanging ang Diyos lang ang pwedeng kumuha sa buhay ng isang tao. While the liberalism theory is sinusuportahan ng government kung ano ang gusto ng mga tao, kung ano man ang nagawang kasalanan at kung ito'y mabigat like rape, like pagpatay, ang gusto ng mga tao is bawian din sila ng buhay. So, that is all for the conservatism and liberalism examples. And that is all for the conservatism and liberalism theory. And I hope you learned something from my discussion. And again, I am LIANNE JP CORTEZ from BSc 1-5. Thank you.